So how unusual are the religion-based projects that we've seen this week? Our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball is with us. Now, a lot of people will have grown up with the idea of religious groups helping people, Harvest Festival for instance, but is this something new?
Well, I think the big difference now is that these days it's happening day in, day out. I mean, we've heard quite a lot recently about the huge rise in food banks, and a lot of those are run by Christian charities, some of them by mosques. Elsewhere, churches, dozens of churches across this region are currently setting up emergency winter night shelters for people sleeping rough. There's some really difficult work going on by religious charities as well, working with hardcore drug addicts. And then, you know, think of the Salvation Army. They've been running hostels and soup runs for many, many years. And this sort of work undoubtedly saving lives in some instances.
But are religious groups still relevant to many people?
Well, there has been a reduction in religious affiliation overall, but I think if you look at the latest census figures across the East Midlands, you might be quite surprised. Across the wider region, 59% of people still describe themselves as Christian. Many of those will be Church of England or Roman Catholic. Still a clear majority describe themselves as Christian. Below that, 3% of people in this region describe themselves as Muslim, and 2% describe themselves as Hindu. And there are smaller numbers still of people who consider themselves Jewish, or Buddhist or Sikh. Very different religions, but doing very similar kinds of community work.
Just very briefly, are there any concerns about religious groups branching out in this way?
Yeah, anecdotally, you might sometimes hear concerns about religious organisations essentially trying to recruit people who are vulnerable. I think if you talk to faith groups, they would say that's definitely not true. They say helping people in need is really at the heart of what they do.
OK, Jeremy, thank you.